In This Week in Military History, we look back at the end of World War I to when the Allies and Germany signed the Armistice, effectively bringing an end to World War I and its hostilities. World War I was thought to be the war to end all wars. The brutality of trench warfare turned what was thought to be a quick victory for the German people into a relentless grind that wreaked havoc across Europe and indeed the world. In April 1917, after Russia had left the war, the US declared war on Germany and American troops went into action. German soldiers attempting to seize the initiative before the United States could land sufficient troops to make a difference in the war, launched an attack to push back Britain and her allies with a series of offensives. But on August 8th, the French and British armies launched the 100 Days Offensive, pushing the Germans themselves back. By the end of August, with the infusion of American troops and resources into the Western Front, there were over 1.4 million American soldiers in France, tipping the balance in the Allies' favor and overwhelming Germany and her allies. Building on the success of earlier Allied offensives in the summer of 1918, the Meuse-Argonne offensive opened on September 26th and carried on until peace negotiations began on November 8th with the arrival of a German delegation headed by Matthias Erzberger. Kaiser Wilhelm stepped down as the head of the German government on November 9th, and 2 days later the armistice was signed in a railroad car near Compiègne in a French forest near the front lines at 5:45 a.m. Fighting continued right up until 11 a.m., resulting in more than 2,000 additional deaths in the last day of the war alone. A year after the war had ended, King George V of Great Britain declared that November 11th would be marked henceforth as Armistice Day and celebrated with 2 minutes of silence at 11 a.m., the hour that the agreement went into effect. The armistice signing brought an end to a war that left 9 million soldiers dead and another 21 million wounded. Join us next time for another segment of This Week in Military History with the Pritzker Military Museum and Library.